Welcome back to another Lindars Radio YouTube video, and today we're going to be looking at the Fairhaven RD500 database. We're going to be putting this radio scanner receiver through its paces tonight. We're going to be trying out some of the different database options and going a little bit deeper into this radio to see exactly what makes it different from the other scanners out there. The Fairhaven RD500 was produced by a company called Fairhaven Electronics Limited, based in Derby, and this radio is approximately 20 years old. The unique selling points for this radio when it first came out was that it was a scanner from 0 to 1750 megahertz and had lots of different modes like lower sideband, upper sideband, AM, CW, stereo CW, AM, narrowband FM and wideband FM and stereo wideband FM. So there's lots of different modes there. A couple of the unique points about the radio was that it has a built-in record function, so you can record clips of various radio transmissions. It also carries a very wide database of pre-programmed frequencies, and we'll have a look at that as well. Fairhaven RD500 came with a manual and also, quite rare, the remote control. From the remote control you can change quite a few of the functions of this radio. You can search for different radio stations by typing in the name of the station that you're looking for, but it can also change the channels, change the mode and lots of other different functions as well, which we'll have a look at later. We're currently on the 40 metre band at the moment. As you can see from the display, we're on a 7.01 and we're picking up some CW Morse at the moment on lower sideband. Now, what we can do once we're on here is we have a function called a filter, and we can change the filter to get different tones and bring that Morse so it's nice and sharp, and you can get a very nice clear tone. So we just as you can see, that changes the tone. The Morse has gone now for a little while. Hopefully they'll come back in a minute. So you can bring it in nice and sharp like that. There's plenty of other options as well with the CW filter. By pressing the shift key, like so, and then pressing the CW filter key, it then gives you further options of which you can for filtering. So we're on LP at the moment. We can also change that to BP, or we can go to flat. These are different responses, or mid, and then we press enter, OK, and that changes the filter slightly. Okay. Right, as you can see, we've moved up the frequency now to 7.14520. Some lower sideband transmission. There's an amateur speaking now on the bands. There's a little bit of bleed over there. There we go, we can see him there. Now, the unique feature, one of the unique features of the Fairhaven RD500 is that you can record snippets of information, of transmission, very quickly and easily. So, what we have to do is we press shift and enter, like so, and then as soon as we get to the bit that we want to record, we press number 1, like so. And then we press number 4 and that stops it, and then to playback we press number 2. And then we press number 2 again. There you go, and then we press number 2 again. So you can keep doing that, you can do it on a repeat, and you can do lots of other different functions. So it's got a certain megabyte size. I think it's 2 megabytes of recording there. As you can see now, we're going to go up to VHF. Let me just turn that down a second. We're going to go up to VHF. We're on 145/600, and the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to change the step, because it's obviously still thinking that we're in the lower sideband mode, and also you can see that it's not the usual 12.5 spacing. So first thing we do is we're going to change the step first. So we're going to put it to 12.5 spacing. So we go shift, that's it, and then step, and we're going to change it. You can see all the different step ranges there, so we can go from 25, 12.5, which is the one we're going to need in a minute, 10, 9, 6.25, 5. There's lots of different steps that you can set it up for, but we're going to go for that one. Press enter. There we go. So now we're going to see if we can just quickly see if we can find anybody on the VHF 2 meter band. And also, oh, I forgot to change the mode. We must change the mode as well. So to change the mode, again, we're going to just press this top button here, like so, and you can see all the different options up there. Number 1's lower sideband, and you can switch that. Sorry, 1's lower sideband. You can press 1 again, put it into upper sideband, 2 for CW, and 3 for the FM, which is the one that we want. So we're going to press enter there, like so. Turn the volume back up and see if we can find somebody talking now on the FM. Yeah, someone speaking there. 145612. Again, if we want to, we can use the record feature. So again, it's shift, enter, and it's a case of pressing 1 for record, 4 to stop. So it's play, so we're playing it back now. It's not. And then of course, what's happened is because it's gone back on a loop, you've also got your previous recordings as well until you cancel them. So yeah, this is VHF 145612. Again, we can then go up, we can literally type in any frequency that we want. As we've said, it goes right up to 1750. So we can type in, say, 433 dot 500. Press enter, like so. And again, we can search up on the 77s band. Not sure if there's anything going to be on the 77s. It seems fairly quiet up there at the moment. Not picking an awful lot up on the 77s at the moment. But as I say, you can direct dial the frequency straight in. Okay, we're just looking at the back of the Fairhaven RD500, and as you can see, you can put both aerials in for the HF and for the VHF, and there's other slots as well available there, which we'll go into in a very brief while. But that's just to quickly show that you can put, it's like a duplexer basically, both aerials can be plugged in at the same time, which is quite a handy feature. Another unique feature of the Fairhaven RD500 is, as it says, a radio database. Now this radio comes with a built-in database. We've got to bear in mind now that that's probably 20 years old and some of the frequencies are no longer relevant, but it's still, they are editable, so you can plug in to a computer. It's got a socket at the back, which we'll look at as well at the end, and it can be interfaced with a computer, and you can add a keyboard as well. But let's have a look, see what frequencies they've got saved in here. This is a feature that you don't get to see a lot because it's, you know, you have to delve deep into the manual to work out exactly how all these little bits work. It's a very clever radio, and whoever put this radio together has put a lot of thought into it. And at Fairhaven, they've really tried their hardest to try and provide a complete solution. So, first of all, we're going to bring up a list of all the different groups or frequencies within the radio database. So, we're going to press the memory button and then the group button. And as you can see, it's come up with A1, which is the broadcast radio section. So, let's have a look and see what frequencies are stored under A1 broadcast radio section. These are preset frequencies. So we're going to press enter there. Turn the volume up and let's see what we can find. Slightly. So We've got BBC Radio 5 on 0.693, and that must be AM. There's BBC Radio Wales, 0.882. You can see all the different stations coming up there now. I think it's a German station. Talk Radio. It's Radio Sweden. And that's the Voice of America on 1.197. Bit of fade there as well. Let's see what other groups we can find. So if we cancel out of that, and we're going to go into Men Group. And then we can change from A1 to A2. So we've got shortwave broadcasts. Again, you can see how many entries are under that database. There's 111 entries. We're going to press enter there. And here we go. So let's see what we can find. So we're on 3.975. We've got the BBC European service. Good old BBC. Another very interesting station, one that I listen to a lot, Radio Prague, 5.93. A little bit of fading there at the moment. Good old Radio Luxembourg, there it is, 6.09. So yeah, as you can see, there's quite a few frequencies there that we can tune into still, that are still relevant. Let's go and have a look at some other groups. We go MEM Group. So we've got BBC World Service, Miscellaneous Communications, Coastal Marine. Let's press enter on that and see if we can find anything. Now it comes up with the preset frequencies again. You've got Hebrides Coast. I don't think we're going to hear them from here. Stonehaven, Humber, Land's End. Oh, looks like Knighton now, I think I saw. Knighton Coast, that's on the Isle of Wight. I'm not really picking up any of these at the moment. Again, the frequencies might have changed by now. This is 20 years old. Let's try another group. So if we press MEM Group, A5, got Air and Sea. So let's press enter on that one. The Plymouth Beacon, sounds like a newspaper. Marine Coordinator Space, Rescue Coordinator, Arctic Supplementary, NATO. Again, we're not picking up anything on these, the frequencies could have changed. Oh, we have some CW now. USAF Volnet. That's coming in quite clear. As you can see, there's lots of different ones within this band, but we're not picking up many of them. Let's try one more. So if we go Memory Group and C. Oh, good old British CB, there it is. That will give us all the CB channels. Oh, illegal, low CB. We best not listen to that. High CB. Hospital pages. I'm sure that would be riveting. Cordless telephones. And lots of other different ones. You've got aero navigation. Let's just try that one quickly. So we've got Dundee, Blackpool. Did I just see Ventnor then? Oh look, Ventnor on the other part. No, we're not picking up anything on there either. Okay, back onto VHF again. We're just going to go through the remote control very, very briefly. As you can see, there's a lot of different functions that you can actually bring up on the remote control. One of them is frequency change, obviously, so you can go frequency up, frequency down. As you can see, we're on 145.350, and you can just change, and you can sit there and you can go up and down the frequency. And another aspect that we've just brought onto the screen as well, as you can see, is a S meter. Now this is a quite advanced S meter actually, because in theory in the manual it says it goes up to 69 points on an S meter scale, so that is quite dramatic. You can turn that on and off, but I've just popped it on so you can see that there's an S meter there. It's quite handy if you're quickly flipping through. So many different features on this radio. You can change the mode on there, so again you can select lower sideband, any of the different modes, press cancel to come back again. And one of the other features which makes it a scanner is that it scans, and to do that you do the usual, turn the squelch up just enough to sort of mute the sound or mute the noise level, and then you can set off and it will go and scan. So this is a very, very clever radio, very advanced for its time. And the last thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a look at the back and just look at the different options at the back that you can plug into.
Now we're looking at the back of the Fairhaven now, the RD500. And as you can see, you have a PC keyboard and an doubles up as an RS-232 interface there. You've got some aerial connections there. This top one is for 48 to 860 megahertz, and then beneath that you have one for the HF, and this is what I have my HF antenna plugged into. There is a little switch there, and that switch switches it across to high Z. Now what you can do is you can bring on a amplifier built in, and this is if you're running like a very small sort of HF antenna, not the full size. It can bring in the internal amplifier, and you can switch that across to HIZ. And again on this side you can see there's a N-type connection there, and that will take you from 860 all the way through to 1750 megahertz, a very, very high frequency. And the last one's there, you've got a left and a right output for stereo, so you can actually run this in stereo if you don't like the speaker on top, and that could be quite interesting. And they're the main functions there. Obviously you have a 13.8 volt DC input. And that's the back of the HD.
That's the Fairhaven RD500 in a very, very quick whistle-stop tour. Lots of features that I didn't get round to explaining, but there's plenty more to talk about on that. Now, in case you're all wondering what's underneath, this is going to be the next radio that we're going to explore. Okay, it's the old Scout 555, and that's by Tentec, and we're going to be talking about that in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. My name's Justin and I'm from Lindars Radios.